So, Kafire and Dave are doing a walkthrough of Bring Her Home, which is an indie horror game published by 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂, where Amelia's dull routine of work and isolation is quickly changed by a monster she ignored years ago and puts her sister's life in danger. So, let's begin. My first memories were not pleasant, full of cries of my young sick sister. The only thing I could understood at the time was that she was in pain and that the adults in my life couldn't make her feel better. I wanted to help her, and that want overpowered any fear I felt in that moment. Oh, freaky. That moment, the moment I managed to sneak into her room in the hospital, lured by her cries, only to see a monster. I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't know what that thing was or what it was doing to her. All I knew was that my sister was in pain, and it now had a source. I was scared, no, terrified. I couldn't let that thing bother my sister anymore, so I charged, screaming my head off. As my screams rang through the air, the thing saw me, screamed in my face, and disappeared into the ceiling. I remember its face distinctly even after 13 years. It looked human, but just barely. All disfigured, with no feature being quite where it's supposed to be. It was enough to cause my little body to pass out on the spot as soon as it was gone. That face used to haunt my nightmares, but not anymore. I'm a lot stronger now, despite only chasing it off. I must have done something right because after that, my sister miraculously recovered. I thought that was the end. I even considered that it might have just been a bad dream. But that wasn't the last time I saw it, or at least a version of it. Not even close. Rumble. What is she going on about now? I'm trying to sleep. This is so... shut up, will you? I'm trying to sleep. Annoying, this is so annoying. I roll her in the bed to face the wall, away from all. Why are you making it my problem? Grumble quieter. Why? Because it's your stuff, idiot. All this stuff you leave over my room. My eyes flutter open and turn back over so I can see what she's talking about, though I already know some idea. And I'm right, Amelia is tearing down and tossing out all the charms I have carefully placed around her side of the room. That's not anything new. Annoying, but not new. Your room? Last time I checked, this was our room. Both of us, you and me. Well, it would be my room if you just went off to college like you were supposed to. Yeah. I heard it 1,000 times. I don't want to go to college. Don't need it. I lay back down to the bed, pulling my blanket over my head and closing my eyes. Not this again. Everybody needs college, especially you. Z. You are so annoying. And you talk too much. Just stop leaving your stupid scraps over my side of the room. Charms. I momentarily come out of my pretended sleep to correct my sister before getting back to it. Scraps, that's all they are, just scraps. Get your head out of the clouds. They're not only powerless, but also ugly. You're actually so annoying. There, I'm done. Because of you, I wasted so much time that I could have been spending getting ready for school. Lazy idiot. I hear her storm off, which is something I'm very accustomed to. After a moment of listening to her continue grumble, I pull the blanket down from my head and push myself up into a sitting position. I look over at Maul's side of the room and sigh. And they're all gone. Just great. What else did I expect? Over the trash can, I can see my charms torn and crumbled. That's a whole hour of work gone. After all, crumbled up charms are just normal powerless pieces of paper. I'm always prepared with extras in case things like this happen, which is often. I mean, you're leaving garbage all over the place, so I'll have to put up new ones before tonight. But I've got plenty of time before then. I leaned back against the headboard and closed my eyes, waiting for the sound of the front door slamming shut, which would mean Maul had left. But I also listened for another sound, sounds that usually start popping up when the charms go away. And soon enough, I hear them. Whispers, whooshes, and hums are coming distinctly from Maul's side. I hear the front door slam shut, and I open my eyes. Oh my god, they're demons! Wait a minute. They actually kind of seem pretty chill. Not so bad. Sure enough, there are a few visitors in the room. Like moths to a flame. I brush my fingers against my neck, checking to make sure my own personal charm is still there. Once that's confirmed, I scoot to the edge of my bed, stand up, and exit the room. The visitors quickly move to get out of my way. As I reach the bottom of the stairs and head for the kitchen, I see that Maul is indeed gone, along with Mom and Dad. Luckily, there's still some breakfast left over, eggs, sausages, and orange juice. I quickly eat my fill, clean off my dish, and get ready to leave. Bag, check. Phone, check. Headphones, check. But before I step out, I dig through my bag and make sure the necessaries are there. My apron for work, my wallet, my knife, the knife that is just for protection. Once I'm sure I have everything, I step out to the door and begin making my way to the library. As I walk, it's almost impossible to ignore the many, many inconveniences loitering around. Cars lazily drive by, with goblin-like monsters hanging from the bottom. Kids play in the park, unaware that they are being washed by a 7-foot floating ghost zombie thing with rotting skin. Luckily, I know these creatures won't hurt a thing. They never interact with the real world unless they really need to. Or if they're just vignettes. Even so, I once again brush my fingers against my neck. Just because the demons won't bother the normal people doesn't mean they won't go after the one girl who can see them. Once I confirm the charm is still there, I slip on my headphones and put on random playlist. Oh, were we listening to Sonic Colors, Reach for the Stars? That would be cool. I zone everything demonic out, and not completely, just in case everything does decide to jump out at me. After several minutes, I arrive at the library. Just like every other place is affected with monsters. Libraries are particularly attracted to what I like to call bookworms, though they're actually more like centipedes. Large black ones with gaping human mouths and millions of grabbing legs. I ignore them all, and they stay out of my way. I head straight for my Pacific spot, where there's a Pacific bookshelf with a Pacific book. Oh, it's very Pacific. I grab the book and set it on the nearest table. Demons, ghouls, and other mysteries, a guide to survival. Time to read this thing for the 100th time. Fun. Being the only book in this entire library that's even close to relevant, I don't have much choice but to study it. It's where I get all the information I need to protect myself and Maul from the demons. This thing is better than 90% of all the stuff I have learned in high school. Okay, what should I review? Maybe I should brush up on some of the ways to detect your common ghost. I'm getting tired of them infecting the house. One of the most useful pieces of information I've gotten from this book is chimes. It's the only surefire way I keep the majority of the creepies away. Any other way is extremely monster-specific. Hours pass as I read. I keep my headphones on the blasting music. The bookworms can be extra loud with their consistent chattering. Oh yeah, turn that up. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm completely swallowed up by my reading when my music suddenly pauses as a notification pops up. Duolingo! Forgot to put this thing in Do Not Disturb. I pull my phone out of my bag to fix that, but not before I spot the notification that caused the interruption in the first place. It's a text. A text from the only person in this town willing to give me the time of day. Ssasuke. Yo, you coming? Doesn't your shift start in like 5 minutes? 5 minutes. My eyes flick up to the time on the top of the screen. My heart drops. Not again. I quickly shove the book back into the shelf and text Ssasuke back as I rush out of the library. About to shove my phone back into my pocket when Ssasuke sends another text. Oh, by the way, did you get a present for your sister? Her birthday's soon, right? My legs slow down, and I check the date. It's already. Man, I am all over the place lately. A present from all. What do I get her? Then, almost as if he can read my thoughts, Ssasuke sends another message. Hey, I think there's this cute shop that sells plushies. It's the one near the one store where you get your emo makeup. Maybe get her one of those if you haven't gotten her anything yet. She likes cute things, right? I chuckle at his words. Since when were you into plushies? Hey, plushies are cute. I highly recommend the Fox one. I roll my eyes. Mal does like cute things. It's worth a shot. And it's not like I have much time to make or order something for her. But then I remember the time and pick up the pace until I'm practically running. I find the store that Ssasuke was talking about. Strangely enough, there aren't many demons around this place. Oh, look at that little cutie patootie. The fox plush that he mentioned immediately stands out as it's displayed in the window. It's white all over with red markings all around its face. It sticks out like a sore thumb amongst the other plushies, but it's unique. It's pretty cute. Mel will definitely like this, even if it's just a bit weird. With not much time to think, I quickly buy it and lean straight towards the cafe. I burst in, doubling over and heaving as I catch my breath. The plastic bag hangs from my elbow, containing the fox plush. There are demons here too, surprisingly. You would think demons drank blood and souls, not coffee. I don't serve demons though, no matter how long they stand in line. Late, I'm definitely late. Ssasuke appears seemingly out of nowhere and approaches me with that stupid smirk on his face. I glare up at him as he approaches. Don't say it. Late, young lady, you're late. I straighten up and fold my arms, still breathing heavily. I'm literally older than you, but I'm your manager, so I'm going to have to dock points. Whatever, I'm only late because I got the thing you suggested from all. Cut me some slack. I was doing something nice for my sister. That's not how this works, Missy. Doesn't matter if you actually took my advice for once. Let me see that. He snatches the fox plush out of the plastic bag before I can stop him and holds it up. Now isn't this the most adorable thing you've seen? Second to me, of course. Okay, he turns it around to face me and holds it up to his next to his face, wiggling around. I fight a smile that's threatening to surface. Shut up. I snatch the plush back and put it back into the plastic bag. Then I lift my hand up to give him a playful shove, but he swiftly dodges it. Hey, you know how I feel about touching things. I roll my eyes and walk past him so I can get behind the counter and put my stuff in the closet. Don't be such a baby. We've been friends for how long now, and you still freak out when my hand so much brushes against you? What, you've got a germ thing or something? Or maybe I just don't like your dirty, grubby hands getting near me. You're not helping your case, brother. Look, I don't know what your game is, but if it's the rinsing thing, you ain't making it, okay? My hands are perfectly clean, thank you very much. I stuff my phone into my bag and put both that and the plastic bag up in the wall hook. Then I pull out the apron I had stuff inside earlier and slide the strap over my head. But before I tie it, I make sure the knife is still there in my bag. Once that's confirmed, I go to the counter and Ssasuke quickly joins me. And from that, we get on with our shifts. which lasts until about 5 p.m. It's not the nicest job, as it's usually the case with jobs that require you to actually interact with people, but it does what I need, which is get me money. Of course, being surrounded by demons that just stand around and block my view of everything makes it a lot worse. The demons that like to hang out at my job are tall, lanky creatures with no faces, and the obsession with standing in my way. Hey, that sounds like me. But this place isn't all bad. I have Sasuke, the only person in this town who sees me as the crazy emo demon girl and hanging out with me anyway. Not that he believes anything I say regarding the existence of the monsters. As my shift comes to an end, I begin to close up and Sasuke helps. Is it just me or were the customers unusually annoying today? Sasuke and I are cleaning the opposite sides of the cafe, so I have to call out to be heard. Well, maybe that was because you were unusually grouchy today. I was only unusually grouchy today because the customers were unusually annoying today. Are you sure a spooky ghost didn't crawl up your butt and die instead? Haha, very funny. Ghosts can't die, idiot. They're actually dead, and they don't crawl up butts either. That's something else. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get my demonology wrong. You're actually so funny, I'm laughing my head off right now. Ha. Why, thank you. I am very funny, ain't I? I scoff and finish wiping off the last table. My stomach growls loudly. Right, I forgot to have lunch, didn't I? Hungry. Wanna grab something to eat? I look over at Sasuke, who's still on the complete other side of the cafe. How did he hear? Must just been a coincidence. I call back to him. I probably can't afford it. I gotta get back home anyway before it gets dark. I glance out at the windows. The sun isn't setting yet, but it will soon. Oh, come on, live a little. I'll pay, don't worry about it. We can go to that Mexican place next door. I press my lips into a thin line, debating it in my head. Live a little. How can I? It's going to get dark soon. My stomach grumbles loudly again, as if in protest. I glare down at it and don't notice Sasuke coming up to me, tilting his head. Surely you don't have to back this early. Don't you like free food? Free Mexican food? I hesitate for the long moment, calculating how long it will take to get dark, and how fast I can eat. Free Mexican food does sound good. I could get some nachos or a taco or... My mind quickly drifts off to thoughts of food. My diet recently has been distinctly bland and extremely microwavable. The offer is far too tempting. Alright, fine. But we gotta eat quick. I need to get back home before dark. I can work with that. Let's do it. I can't help but chuckle at Sasuke's enthusiasm. I quickly run back and to the closet to remove my apron and get my stuff, including the plush, and leave the cafe as Sasuke finishes locking up. Then we walk over to the Mexican restaurant just next door. Luckily, it isn't something too fancy, so our casual clothes are just fine. Isn't he your manager? Whatever, I'm not gonna question it. We just order at the screen and wait for our food to be finished, and then we eat. As we eat, Sasuke and I talk and catch up. Sasuke funnier than I remember. Actually, I don't really remember the last time I was able to do this with Sasuke, or anyone for that matter. Ma would rather hang out with her friends, and my parents aren't interested in my monster-filled ramblings. Sasuke, the only one that actually pays me any mind, but I always brush him off. Always rush home straight after work to check on Ma. He doesn't deserve that. Both the meal and the conversation with Sasuke are nice, and strangely normal. As normal as a conversation could get with monsters always hanging out in the corner of my eye. But they're easy to ignore with Sasuke as a distraction. I always pride myself on not being selfish or foolish, but I thought that just for this moment, I could be without consequences. That I could enjoy this moment with 𝒂𝒐. But that all comes crashing down when I finally check the time and my face goes pale. Well, paler than usual. Huh, what's wrong? Oh no, do you see the time? 𝒂𝒐 gives me a dumbfounded look before checking his phone. 8 p.m. Oh yeah, we've been here for a while, huh? I whip around to look out the window. Of course, I just had to forget to pay attention to them. It's dark. I need to get home. I stand up so abruptly that my seat makes a horrible screeching sound against the hard floor. 𝒂𝒐 flinches and covers his ears. I don't have the time to apologize. I turn my heel and dart out the restaurant without bothering to grab anything more than my bag and my phone, the fox plush completely forgotten. I ignore any strange looks that other diners gave me. I'm used to that by now. I need to get home now. It's not often that I run around in the dark. I know it's not safe. The monsters, especially, are the really bad ones, are the creepies I'm actually worried about. Most of the demons, monsters, and ghosts are deterred by my charms, but the really powerful ones don't care about my punny handiwork. I can see some right now, prowling about. I keep my distance from them, but try not to stray too far from the quickest path to home. But all these obstacles are not making it any easier. A trip that should take 10 minutes stretched to 30, and my stress level only gets worse and worse. Finally, I burst through the door of my home. It's quiet, empty, and dark. Finally, I burst through the door of my house. It's quiet, empty, and dark. Mom and Dad should be back by now. Mal should be back by now. I pull out my knife from my bag and wield it in my hands. I take a step forward, then another, until I reach the light switch and flick it on. Nothing happens. I shift the knife to one hand and use the other to take my phone to turn on the flashlight. I flick the light all around the living room, searching for any shadows or figures. Nothing. I creep forward until I reach the stairs and shine my light up them. Still nothing. I take the stairs one by one, pausing every few steps to wait and listen. I don't dare to call out yet. Come on, Mal. Where are you? A few more steps, then a few more. My heart slams against my chest harder and harder as I get closer to the shared room. I turn the handle and open it. And as I slowly push the door open, I see it, the thing I dread most. I drop my phone so that I can grip my knife with both hands. Yeah. Right in front of me lies the sight I know all too well. Almost the exact same sight I saw 13 years ago when Mal was sick, and similar to all the other times I caught that abomination at her bedside, about to do whatever torture it does. Its form is always different, but I never fail to recognize it. I can feel it. Usually, any close calls I have happened to be right before that thing does anything to my sister. But Mal is pale as a ghost, her face scrunched up in the same way that was in 13 years ago. Step away from my sister! The thing turns around and my breath hinges, but that's as far as I'll go as fear show. Its appearance is strongly feminine, but I know it's no woman. Its mouth winds up in a twisted smile, and its eyes are void of any life or feeling. Coarse, stringy hair hangs from every other hair follicle, but what is most creepy is its long, spindly limbs and windy neck. Ugh. Back up. When it turns to me, it stretches its neck out until its face is right in front of mine. Its head is most twice as big as my head. There's a faint feeling blur deep, deep down that tells me I should run, but I don't. I simply narrow my eyes and point my knife at its head. Never before have I had the chance to speak to this creature, to learn why it's so evident about targeting my sister, to learn why seeing it once caused me to start seeing monsters that other didn't. This time is going to be different. Maybe, just maybe, I can get to leave us alone. Speak. The thing stares at me, unblinking. Then its mouth opens. It speaks in scratchy, echoey voice that sounds like several creatures at once. Child, your presence amuses me. I clench my teeth. The longer I look at this thing, the bolder I feel. I step forward, lightly pressing the tip of my knife into its forehead. I don't press deep enough to draw whatever that thing bleeds. Not yet. Of course it does. I'm sure this whole thing is just one big joke to you, huh? It doesn't flinch or react to me pressing a knife to its skin. It just licks its lips and speaks again, not even bothering to acknowledge what I just said. It's getting annoying. The girl is mine now. She is due. You stay away from her, you demon. She has done nothing to deserve any of this. I am no demon. I am a spirit. I don't care, Sheen, because guess what? No matter how many forms you take, no matter how many times you come for Maul, no matter how many monsters you send after me, I have and always will protect her from you. Sheen goes silent for a moment before it starts doing something I can only assume is some kind of laughter. Its whole body heaves, and its already large smile seems to grow larger, and it hacks out laugh after laugh. The sound is bone-chilling, and I stumble back a step. When Sheen finally stops, it moves its head closer than before. What a pathetic child you are. You know not what you face. Do you really think you're actually defeated me all these times? I was simply playing with you. But that's over now. Your sister is mine to take. And with that, Sheen's head begins to return back to its body, towards my sister. My sisters. My heart drops to my stomach. Before I can even think, I'm charging forward. No! Call it bravery, call it stupidity, whatever it is, it hasn't changed from 13 years ago. Except for the knife in my hands, which I brandish above my head and plunder deep into Sheen's skull. Stay away from her! I practically screech the words at the top of my lungs, and Sheen whirls around at me. Its expression unchanging, but it's clear that the thing is angry. Its neck extends to wrap around me and hold me in place. Then I look deep into my eyes. You want to be with your sister that bad? So be it. Then its jaw unhinges, mouth opening wider than I have ever thought possible, and swallows me whole. My scream echoes in my ears. When I next come to, I've been transported outside my house, a twisted version of my house, that is. It looms above me, seeming taller than usual. It's dark and intimidating, with black smoke whirling around it. The lights are off, cold and ominous. Where am I? Where did that thing take me? It takes a moment for me to get my bearings before I frantically check my person. My bag, my knife, my phone, it's all gone. Nothing left to protect me or defend myself, but that's the least of my worries. The last words Sheen said to me before sending me to this place had to do with me being with my sister. That means she's here somewhere. I quickly glance around to get a better look at my surroundings. My house, which is typically surrounded by other homes, sidewalks, and roads, is now surrounded by a thick dark forest, which just leaves my house as the best and easiest place to search first. So I push the door open and step inside, looking towards the stairs. She was in our home. She was in her room last time, so I'll check there first. I once again tried to turn on the lights, to no success. Wasting no time, I rush up the stairs and burst into our room. The charms that are usually all over the room are now gone, but I don't pay that any mind. It's too late for that now anyway. I look towards Mal's side of the room, and just as I suspected, she's right there lying in bed. My base instinct tells me to rush to her side and make sure she's okay, but I hesitate. Where is it? It can't be this easy. I scan the room, looking at every nook and cranny that I can see from my current position. For the first time in years, I don't see or hear anything monstrous, but I know better than to let my guard down. I begin to make my way to the bed where Mal lies. When I reach her, I see that she's laying face down in sigh of annoyance. Yes, the classic sister laying face down in bed. I bet that when I turn her around, she'll just be going to completely normal and not scary looking at all. I speak loudly, hoping to draw out Sheen. I know it has to be here somewhere, but it doesn't come out. So I turn back to Mal, place my hand on her shoulder, and turn her over. Oh my god, she's Slenderman! I half expected to be Sheen's face that I'm looking at, but I'm instead seeing nothing. The hair, clothes, body are distinctly Mal's, but her face is completely wiped clean. I don't know what I was expecting, but I knew it wouldn't be Mal's normal face. Oh no, I'm so scared. Ugh. I say it sarcastically, but deep down, I'm trying to figure out how to help her. You're no fun. Right on cue, Sheen emerges from the wall and procures a smile still on its face. I just want my sister back. Is this even her? Sheen leans over and lays a hand on Mal's face. I jump to stop it, but before I can, it grabs Mal's head and pulls her up into a sitting position. And as it awakens, Mal begins to struggle violently. Her arms fly around, and her hands grab at her face and Sheen's hands. There's this strangled sound coming from Mal's throat, but it's muffled without her mouth. Mal! I move to sit on the bed beside her and take one of her hands in mine. Mal jumps at the sound of my voice and starts to feel up my arm and to my face. Hey, watch it. It's me, okay? I'm here. Mal suddenly hits me hard, the same way she does when she's annoyed. I scoff. Well, she's definitely acting like Mal. I look back at Sheen. So, are you going to let her go or not? Let her go? I can't do that when she doesn't have her face. I narrow my eyes. I knew it couldn't be this easy. Where's her face then? Go and find it. Yeah, I'll wait, but not for long. Sheen's grip on Mal's head tightens, and she groans and muffles pain sounded. Alright, don't hurt her. Tick-tock. I give the demon a glare before turning around. I have to find Mal's face. This is going to be really fun, isn't it? Where do I even look first? After debating for a bit, I start with doing a general sweep of the house, looking for anything out of the ordinary, but everything looks more or less the same. It's only when I start to look closer that I begin noticing things. After searching the house, top to bottom, I spot a pointed fluffy ear peeking out from the semi-open cabinet in the kitchen. Ew. I open it fully and see the plush I bought for Mal earlier today, the same one I accidentally left at the restaurant with Suke. Except it doesn't look like what it was supposed to look like. I flinch when I first see it before carefully taking it into my hands. I recognize those eyes anywhere. The plush is almost the exact same as usual, with pointy ears, a long snout, and fluffy fur. However, its small, round, adorable black eyes are replaced with moles. They are wide and red at the edges, and they move from side to side, never focusing on one object or staying looking in one direction. I bite my tongue to avoid yelping in shock. I stare at it for a long moment, watching in disgust, and its eyes move around. Finally, I speak. What am I meant to do with this? They're attached to this plush. Then I get an idea, though. It's far from pretty. My eyes dart to the drawer where we usually keep our utensils, including the knives. I slide it open and quickly spot the knife that I always keep on me, the same one I had been missing when I first entered this nightmare. I take it in my free hand and study it. I'm quite adept at using it by now, but I had never used it anywhere near a person's eyes. The things I do for love. I press my lips into a thin line and get to work, carefully carving out each eye. I make sure to be extra careful and slow. The last thing I want is to damage any part of Maul. I hold my breath as I press the knife into a soft fur of the fox plush. The knife isn't cut out for slicing stuffed animals, so the whole process is messy. Oh god, its peepers are all gross and bloody. It was bloody, you probably missed a little. After several painstaking moments, Maul's eyes are finally free. I grimace as I carefully take them in my hands. They're moist and a bit gooey. I fight the urge to vomit and carefully place them down on the counter. I find a paper towel and wrap them in, then carefully tuck them in my pocket. Ew, they're warm. Ugh. I gag at the thought before forcing myself to move on to the next task. Next, the mouth. I continue searching, keeping the plush in my hand. Its face is completely torn up from what I was just doing, but there's just something about it makes me want to keep it with me. Soon enough, I see another thing off about the house. In the living room, a painting that used to have flowers now show a mouth. I go up to it and lift my knife once more, thinking I'll have it cut out yet another part of Maul's face. But as I press the tip of the blade to the painting, it suddenly transforms into a window. Whoa. Huh, weird. Through the window, there is a long hallway filled with paintings. But instead of seeing flowers or mouths in them, I see portraits of Maul, all without a face. That is expected for one. All the way at the very end, there's a portrait with yet another Maul. She has no eyes, but she does have a mouth that moving open and closing. That must be it. I climb through the window into the hallway and head straight for the painting at the very end that has Maul's mouth. As I pass by each painting, I watch them closely, expecting each one to come alive, either now or later. As I reach the last painting, I bring my knife up to the edge. The painting doesn't change or disappear this time, so I puncture the paper and begin cutting this time. It's much easier. Once I have the mouth, I turn back towards the window, and just as I expected, the paintings come alive. Oh. At least 10 different faceless Mauls begin climbing out of their paintings, including the one I have cut the mouth of. I don't waste a second. longer run straight towards the window. The malclones clamber and climb over each other as they desperately try to grab me. One grabs the end of my shirt and yanks me back just as I'm about to escape. Whirling on her, I lift my foot and kick her hard, right where her nose should be. "Get off!" She lets out a muffled cry and falls back, and I take the opportunity to escape through the window. I then run to the stairs, but pause briefly to look back. Somehow, after I climbed out, the window had transformed back to a normal painting. Oh, how convenient. I don't dwell on it much longer, though, as I have a task to complete. I go up the stairs and enter my room. Sheen is gone, but Moll is still there, feeling and crawling around on the ground. I sigh in relief when I see her. There she is, safe. I crouch down beside her and take her hands in mine. But before I can open my mouth to tell her that it's me, she jerks back and starts to struggle and kick wildly. It's me, relax and stay still." Moll goes still, just as I requested. Alright, let me see if I can figure this out. I reach into my bag and first take out Moll's mouth. I look between the facial features in my hands and her empty face, then I tentatively press her mouth to where her mouth is supposed to be. Miraculously, it actually stays on, fixing it in place. And as soon as it does, Moll speaks. "Amelia." My heart fills with relief as I finally hear my sister's voice again. "Yes, it's me. Hold on, while I fix your eyes too." I frantically scramble to get out Moll's eyes and fix them onto her face. When they are in place, she blinks at me. I pull her into a hug. Thank goodness. I'm here now, Moll. Moll doesn't hug me back, but she does shove me back. I quickly press my hands on the ground to steady myself, shooting Moll a surprised look. What's wrong? What's wrong? What was that all about? What did you do to me? My eyes widen, and it takes a moment before I register what she said to me and how angry she looks. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. I couldn't see. I couldn't talk. How do you explain that? My mouth drops open. Don't tell me. She thinks I did this to her. There was a monster, some kind of demon. The same one I tried telling you about 13 years ago. Do you finally believe me now? Believe you, Amelia? I'm sick and tired of this. Moll stands up abruptly, glaring daggers at me. I just stare up. Moll stands up abruptly, glaring daggers at me. I just stare up at her in pure shock. How is she still not getting this? All this talk about demons and spirits and whatever they aren't real. Are you forgetting what just happened? How couldn't you see or talk? You didn't feel your head being grabbed. You didn't hear that creepy voice I was talking to? I didn't forget. I did feel that, but I did hear the voice. But do you actually think I would believe that it was some kind of demon? How could I even do all that? I don't have 3 hands, and I'm not some idiotic, as I have a conversation with myself with 2 different voices. Oh, I don't know, maybe it was the idiot friend of yours. He was probably in it on grabbing me, doing silly voice, I don't know. Probably gets a kick from harassing poor vulnerable young women. I'm not gonna touch that. My eyes light up with anger. Now, bringing Sasuke into this is between her and me, not him. Don't you dare accuse him of that. And that's not even possible. I don't think I ripped your eyes and mouth out of your skull. What are you even talking about? I don't know what you did, but it was something. You could have gagged and blindfolded me for all I know. Moll, what do you expect me to believe, that Mom or Dad did this? It was a demon. Listen to me for once. I finally stand up as well, clenching my hands at my side. By now, I am long used to Moria's betraying me, but after everything I just went through for her, she repays me by yelling at me, insulting me, and insulting my friend? I am sick and tired of this. And you think I am not? At first, you were just being annoying with your stupid ramblings about demons and literally all over the room. But now, you're just downright harassing me. Look around, Mole. Can't you see the house isn't right? We're in the demon world right now. That's enough, Amelia. Mole's voice then turns sad. I was scared. I was so scared. I didn't know what was happening. I couldn't see. I couldn't even tell if I was home. I tried to scream and call for help, but I couldn't speak. How could you put me through that? Mole's voice cracks during the last sentence, and a tear sides down my face. My eyes soften, and my hands unclench. Despite her accusations being directed at me, I can hear how much she's hurting. She's just scared. I reach out to rest my hand on her shoulder. Mole. She smacks my hand away, but I continue. I know you were scared, but I'm here now. It wasn't me. I would never put you through something like that. I'm your sister. I couldn't hurt you. You're pathetic. I recoil back. What? You just won't stop. Even with me breaking in front of you, you won't let go of your delusions. What else could it be? Mole. Mole turns her head away, wrapping her arms around herself. She speaks quietly, so quiet that I have to lean closer and strain to hear. Why couldn't you have just gone off to college, far, far away, to the other side of the world or something? I blink at her in surprise. You don't actually... I do. Mole suddenly screams, her head snapping back up and glares at me. You're delusional. What don't you get? I don't want you in my life anymore. You're ruining it. I fold my arms. Mole, I'm protecting you. I'm doing this because you're my sister and I love you. Well, I don't love you. I stumble back as if in shock. The air seems to leave my chest and I just stare at her for a long time. I expect her to take it back, maybe apologize, to say that she didn't mean it, that she's just mad. But she doesn't say anything. She doesn't even break eye contact. She just glares right at me. My next few words come out pained. You don't mean that. I do. I'm tired of you dragging me into your stupidity. I hate you. I need you to stay out of my life. At Mole's words, all I can do is stare. And with me going quiet, she shoves me aside and storms out of the room. She hates me. That couldn't be right. We've argued plenty of times before, but never like this. It's a trick. Sheen did something to her, to make her say those things to me. Deep down, I know better. Those words spoken with such conviction and hatred, years of resentment and arguments come to my mind. Mole was slowly been getting more and more fed up with me, and we've been becoming more and more distant. Back when we were kids, she believed everything I said about demons, but then she grew up and stopped believing in things only I could see. I didn't understand the full effect until now. I always thought that it doesn't matter what she thinks of me, as long as she's safe. But to hear that she hates me after everything I've done for her. No, she doesn't know what I've done for her. She doesn't know everything I sacrificed or all the time I have spent protecting her. I stumble towards the bed and sit down. Somehow, through the turmoil, I still managed to keep hold of the fox plush. I didn't even notice that I have been practically squeezing the life out of this whole time. I hold it up and look at it, eyes torn out and body now squished and deformed from my grip, but still recognizable as a fox. I was supposed to give this to Mal for her birthday just a few hours ago. It looked nice and new. Now it's just another piece of trash. Who am I kidding? Mo won't want this. Not from me, at least. I think about tossing the plush away. It's trash, torn, disfigured, broken, kind of like my relationship with Mal. I want to throw it away, but something in me stops that from happening. I lift my head and remember where I am, where Mal and I are. A nightmarish realm with monsters, and now Mal is out there, alone. I had just let her walk out, caught up in my own feelings, selfish. I stand up and rush out the room, hanging the plush against me. Mal, come back. No response. She's either ignoring me or just left the house. I look at the plush again. Oh, Mal, you idiots. I run into every room, checking them, all just in case. That is until I spot the front door wide open. It could be a false lead, but Mal is nowhere in the house, so I rush outside into the forest. Mal, come back. It's not safe. I emerge into the darkness of the forest, but this is the first time that I actually get a good look at it. The first thing I notice is that the thing I was calling trees aren't even close at all. They're only pretending to be trees. What the? Every two or so trunks just out of the ground and fused together into a torso after several feet. And from the torso hang two long arms and a head sprouting from a neck. If I look really hard enough, I can see a pair of disfigured eyes looking off into the distance blankly. If I never dared to look up, there's a good chance I would have never noticed, but once I do notice, I begin seeing other things that are off about this place. The floor is covered in flowers, but not the pretty kind. Each flower is small and black, with 4 petals jutting out from the middle, except the middle isn't pollen or anything like that, but an eye. An eye that always looks towards me. Of course, everything here just as to be cursed. I don't let myself dwell on it for much longer, as I focus on scanning for clues that I can lead me to the mall. I quickly spot some very obvious footprints in the ground right in front of me. Too easy. She wouldn't just take the most obvious path. I circle around the house until I spot her already several hundred feet away into the forest. I'm still unsure if this is a trap, but the only other lead I have, so I hurry over to her, making sure the knife and plush are still in my hands. The sounds of grass and flowers are anything but normal. It's something between a squishing and crunchy sound, like I'm stepping on bones and eyes, which I know is at the very least half true. I also keep my eyes on the trees, watching for any sudden movements, but there are none yet. Mal, get back here. Mal stops when she hears my voice and whirls down me. Leave me alone. I wince at her harsh tone, but continue moving forward. The hurt comes rolling back in, but I shove it down, repeating the same mantra I've been telling myself for ages. It doesn't matter if she likes it or not, as long as it keeps her safe. Please, Mal, these woods aren't safe. Woods? What are you talking about? It is just another one of your tricks. What? Can you not see what's around her? Come to think of it, she was acting similar inside the house. Could it be that she's actually can't see what's happening? Slowly but surely, I close the distance between us until I'm right in front of her. Mal, what do you see right now? Mal glares at me, unamused. Seriously? Please, Mal, I just want to understand. Mal rolls her eyes, but answers. Just a normal neighborhood. What did you expect me to start seeing demons all of a sudden like you? Her words are laced with venom, but confirmed my suspicions. I exhale a strange sigh. Maul, come on. It's dark out. You don't want creeps stalking you, right? Creeps, as in demons? I grip my teeth, fighting the urge to scream out at confirmation. If I want her to listen, I have to act like this is normal night. No, Maul, creeps and like dudes, hey. Remember that one guy who tried to follow you home once? Don't want to deal with him again, right? You don't know what you're talking about. What, she doesn't remember that either? Or was that another demon? Just come inside, let's talk this out. How many times do I have to tell you, leave me alone? And suddenly she turns on her heel and darts in the same direction she has heading earlier. I curse under my breath and dash after her, but she's surprisingly fast. Those few seconds of head start result in her being several feet in front of me, and uncertainty doesn't help that she's dodging and weaving between the trees. Maul, stop. The trees are in perfect straight line, which makes it somewhat easier to dodge around, but still annoying. However, that annoyance quickly dissipates as I notice that those same trees are moving, but just barely. As Maul passes one by one, then lean towards her. Some are even bold enough to reach out and try to grab her, but their movement are so slow and sluggish that they miss every time. The flowers and grass underneath me are loud under my feet. No, she doesn't even have a weapon. I have to get to her before she's grabbed. I pick up the pace, pushing my legs to go as fast as they can. Between each breath, I do my best to call out Amelia again. Maul, get back here, please. It's not safe. I'm interrupted by an ear-splitting crack, followed by the groan of a tree falling over. I put my feet into the ground and slide to stop so quickly that I fall over onto my butt. A few eye flowers squish underneath me with a loud squish. Oof, what a way to go. Good job. My eyes go up to the tree right in front of me as it bends backwards. It struggles and wiggles until it suddenly snaps in half. The top half falls over and lands right in front of me with a thud. Oh. I quickly scoot back and scramble to my feet, holding out my knife and clenching the plush to my chest as if keeping it safe. Stay back. But the top half of the human tree hybrid pays me no mind. With its two long, spindly branch arms, it crawls with surprising speed in the direction of Maul. It moves quicker than any person or animal that I've seen before, and it's going straight for my sister. My stomach does a flip, and before I know it, I'm charging after them both, adrenaline carrying me faster than I have ever gone before. But that thing is faster. Maul, keep running, don't stop. It's ironic how my words do a complete 180. But as much as I don't want to admit it, I won't be able to make it to her before the tree does. So the best I can do is to warn Maul. At this point, she's so far ahead that I can only barely see her, and so I'm forced to watch the creature get closer and closer to Maul until it pounces on her. I will my legs go faster and faster, and they're starting to hurt and ache. I can hear Maul's faint screams and cries in the distance, and I can see the struggles between her and the demon. Her screams are shrilled and loud, and she does her best to put up a good fight, but there's only so much you can do. Almost there, almost. My words come out as faint gasps. Try as I might to convince myself, the truth is that I'm still about 100 feet away. Maul. I watch as the tree creature finally subdues Maul. It wraps an arm around her and uses the other arm to drag them both deep into the forest, still surprisingly fast. I continue running after them. I'm almost there, but as soon as I start moving again, I lose it within a few seconds. Even so, I keep running, keep pushing. My legs ache all over. My heart slams against my ribs, and my breathing comes to a short gasp, but I don't notice any of that. All of those feelings are overwhelmed by the intense dread rising from the very pit of my stomach, all the way up. No, come back, please! I don't see them at any point after they disappear, but I hear Maul's screams. They echo just in front of me, just out of reach. And soon enough, her screams are no longer in front of me, but behind me. Behind me and next to me and everywhere at once. There are no landmarks. Every tree looks the same. Every direction looks the same. I think I may have gotten turned around at some point, or maybe this forest is endless. Even so, I keep on running until my legs give out from under and I fall to my knees. Ice flowers look at me and judge me with their stares. Maul, where are you? I need to protect you. Tears from my eyes, and for the first time in years, I feel utterly hopeless. I keep the knife down beside me and hold up the plush. Maul's screams still echo around me, taunting and berating me, insulting me for not keeping her safe. I don't know where Maul is. I'm in the world with rules I don't understand, and I'm surrounded by monsters I've never even heard of in my research of books. She's gone, taken away by a broken tree demon. The plush does little to make me feel better. For the first time in years, I allow a monster grab her and take her away. How could I let this happen? I carefully place the plush down so that I can wipe my eyes, but the tears just keep coming. The screams are deafening, and right in my ears, I can barely even hear myself think, "It's not your fault." And with that, the screams all disappear in a heartbeat. I whip my head around and spot a strange-looking yet vaguely familiar young man standing behind me. Despite my aching legs, I grab my knife again, force myself to stand up, and point it at him. I quickly wipe my tears from my eyes and glare at him. Who are you? He's wearing all white robes and almost looks like he's glowing. Red markings line his face, and any other skin that I can see, his expression is serious. That doesn't matter. And you can put that knife down. I won't hurt you. I narrow my eyes at the strange man. He looks way too familiar. Do I know you? That plush. Can I see it? It looks down at the fox plush in question, still on the floor where it left it. I bend down and pick it up, between the plush and the strange man. You know, it's rude to ignore what people say. You're a feisty one, aren't you? The corner of his mouth cocks up to a smirk, one that's all too familiar. Impossible. That can't be him. I'm sorry for ignoring what you said. Can you repeat it again? I tilt my head, studying him closely. Now, my turn to ignore his words. I look him directly in the eye, shift both objects to one hand, and straighten up. Then, my hand scoots out to grab his arm, and he swiftly dodges. No touching. My eyes widen. Sosuke. The man's eyes widen just barely, but I catch on to it. He chuckles. Who, young lady? I don't have a name. I am a spirit, a good one, and I am here to help you. I scoff. Good spirits. Yeah, right. Although, upon looking at him again, he doesn't look like any spirit or demon that I've ever seen before. But he does look vaguely like Sasuke. Maybe it's a coincidence, but I don't really have the time or energy to interrogate this good spirit. You said you can help me? I ask impatiently, stepping forward. Yes, let me see the plush. Why, couldn't you just show me where my sister is? I'm looking for her. Every moment longer that I'm away from her, she could be getting hurt. I know, and I will, but first, let me see the plush. I roll my eyes and hand it over. You've destroyed it. Why? Wasn't this gift for your sister? I don't question how he knows that. I just respond. I had to. That demon sheen stuffed Maul's eyes inside. I had to get them back so she can see them. Ah, of course. Then I'll fix it. I open my mouth to protest, but stop as the man flicks his hand and the plush is suddenly fixed. He smiles and hands it back to me. There. How is this meant to help me? You needed to give it to your sister. How am I supposed to do that if I can't find her? It will show you the way. I give him a convinced look. It's an inanimate object, and you're in a nightmare world where human eyes get attached to plushies and trees are people. I press my lip into a thin line. He has a point. I look at the fox plush again, now fully clear and repaired. I was supposed to give this to Maul for her birthday tomorrow. Maul, the same Maul who told me that she hates me. I look off into the distance, in a direction I think Maul disappeared into. Why am I even doing this again? She hates me. She wants nothing to do with me. All these years, I've been sacrificing my life to make sure she's safe from all of Sheen's attacks. In this world, she's always moving away from me. She's right. What have I been doing with my life? Hey. I look back over at him. What now? Don't give up now. She loves you. She does. You should tell her that. I don't have to. The humans in the world all think you're crazy, that you're some kind of witch. But from what I've seen, you're one of the kindest humans in the world. Not everyone would sacrifice so much just for one person. I lift an eyebrow and smirk wearily. How do you know what I'm like, not Sasuke? The man chuckles and smirks back. I've been watching you for many years. Totally not creepy at all. Hey, you'd be surprised at the amount of spirits that are watching you, good and evil. What? Go to your sister. No need to thank me. And with that, the man disappears in a flash. Huh. Sasuke or not, that guy is weird. Oh, totally. Without a doubt. I look down at the plush, turning it around in my hands. So, what do I do with this? I hold it up and spot something new on the bottom. It's some kind of inscription. Made in China. I rub my fingers over it curiously, and the whole plush starts to glow brightly. I almost drop the thing in shock, but quickly catch it again, and then I look around. Not only it's a lot easier to see everything, but bright red markings slowly appear on a few of the trees. Wow. I look between the plush and the markings, a hopeful smile pulling at my lips. I look over to where the man was just seconds before. I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you, 𝒂𝒂 or whoever you are. I then turn and begin to follow the marks quickly, picking up speed. My legs still hurt, but I don't care. Every time I get close to the tree, it cowers away, as it's afraid. The marks lead me through the forest, leading me this way and that. It still looks the same to me, minus the red marks on the trees. But sure enough, the trees come to an abrupt halt and the straight line. And beyond the line, of trees is looming, pitch black mass. With how tall it is, it might as well be a small mountain. And at the very, very top is what looks to be a gigantic candle that's almost completely burned down. Wrapping around the candle is a few thick black tentacles, and at the top of the candle is a faint, barely then flicker of fire. A candle that has to be important. I feel like I read about it somewhere, something about dying. Before I could think about it too much, my eyes fall to the base of the hill, and I spot Moll. She's still standing there with her back to me, looking up at the candle. I squeeze the fox blush, almost as if I'm making sure it's still there. Then I approach her warily, observing her and our surroundings carefully, in case there's any more surprises. Moll. Part of me thinks that Moll herself could be the surprise. The other part of me is afraid that she's turn on me, insult me, tell me that she hates me, and run away like she did the last 2 times I tried to reach her. But all that doesn't happen anymore. I came over for one reason, and I am not giving up until I succeed, even if it drives me and Moll apart forever. When Moll hears my voice, she whirls around, tears streaming down her face. Amelia! I stop when I look and the tears in her eyes, and tuck my knife through the loop of my shorts. What's wrong? Is it about ruining her life again? I don't understand what's happening. This isn't our neighborhood, is it? Is she finally realizing? No. It isn't. I was running away from you, and then something tackled me to the ground. I turned my head and I saw a monster. Her voice breaks, her eyes reflecting the horror she saw and experienced. And I tried to fight it, but it was much stronger than me. It took me here. My heart straightens at her words. In the past 13 years, I had many close calls with demons. I remember the first time it happened with Jean. I was a kid then. I believed in monsters and ghosts and imaginary friends, and I never grew out of it. I couldn't because I had proof. I could prepare for almost any encounter. But Amelia, this was probably her first encounter with a demon where she was aware of what's happened. After she said already stopped believing in that stuff. After all this time, she finally had proof that everything I've been saying is true. I'm right, but it doesn't feel good at all. This was the last thing I wanted. Molia. I begin to reach out to her, but hesitate, remembering the fox plush and what the man said. So instead, I hold it out to her. Here, this is for you. Moll looks at the glowing plush, eyes widen, teary, and confused. She sniffles and reaches for it. What is it? But before her fingers can reach it, something bursts out of the ground between us. It's a head that's at least twice as tall as my entire body and completely blocks my view of Moll. Though its face is more like a mask, but the rest of its head is completely pitch black. I stumble back, snap to attention when Moll screams and quickly gets cut off. The face that blocks my view stares at me with empty eyes and speaks in all too familiar voice. I see that what you are trying to do, but it's too late. What? Sheen doesn't respond. Instead, it turns around, grabs Moll with its mouth, and lifts itself to the very top of the hill, where it places Moll in front of the candle. As it does, the full extent of its neck emerges, and I can see that connection up to the hill. When I look closer, I see the hill is actually a living, breathing mass. A mass that seems to belong to Shin. Of course, nothing is normal here. There's only one other option. I run up to the mass, clutching the plush close so I don't drop it. It'd be hard to climb this thing with it in my hands, but I need to give it to Maul. That's what the man said, and I trust him after he helped me, so I climb as fast as I can. The hill is soft and fleshy underneath my hands, and every patch seems to breathe. I keep going until I finally reach the top. I soon spot Amelia, who is pressed up against the candle, almost melting into it. Although the candle is almost burned completely down, it still dwarfs her in both height and demeanor. Her eyes are wide, and it's clear she's struggling to break free, but failing miserably. Wax covers her mouth, preventing her from making a noise, and she stares right at me, eyes pleading. "Maul, I'm here." I rush over to her, but once again, Jean appears between us. Stupid girl. Don't you hear me earlier? You're too late. And then it lunges at me. As a jerk reflex, I lift my hands, bringing the plush up to block my face, like that will do anything good. But it actually does. She recoils abruptly, hissing violently. My eyes go wide. Jean is affected by this. I think back to when I was in the forests. After the man fixed the plush, the trees cowered away from me, and now this. Realization dawns on my face, and I hold the plush out towards Jean. I use the plush to push Jean back and away from all. Then I turn back to her. She's almost completely sucked into the candle. I lurch towards her, shoving the plush where her chest should be. The candle wax swallows the plush whole. The next thing I do is plunge my hands into the wax to grab hold of any part of Maul I can do. My hands close around what I think to be her arm, and I pull as hard as I can. Come on, Maul. I've got you. But despite my best efforts, she doesn't budge. That is until the candle suddenly starts to glow and grow taller, almost as reforming itself. The fire at the very top burns brighter and brighter, lighting up the entire world. And with it fully restored, I pull Maul out with ease, almost too easily, as she and I fall over. Maul is covered in wax and sweat, but alive. Hey, just like me. But clenched to her chest is fox blush. I smile softly. It's okay. You're out now. Amelia. Tears fill Maul's eyes once more as she looks at me. She reaches a hand out towards me, but quickly draws it back when she starts to glow. Her eyes widen in panic as she begins floating up into the air. What's happening? I watch in shock as Maul is suddenly floating above me. The light she's emitting is warm and bright, like the flame at the top of the candle. Floating in the air must be terrifying, but I have no doubt that what is happening is good. Everything is okay, Maul. You're okay. I'm scared. She continues floating up and up. Not far above her, a circle of light forms, some kind of portal. I sit up and call out to her. Just take a deep breath, Maul. It's okay. Amelia, please. She reaches for me once more, but she's far too high up in the air to even get close to reaching me. I'm sorry. I'm so... And with that, she disappears into the portal. Her voice is cut off, but I know what she was trying to say. My own eyes fill with tears, and my heart feels warm. Around me, the dark nightmarish world is now bright and warm. I cast my eyes up towards the portal. I know that it leads to safety, but it doesn't look like it's possible to reach. Is this goodbye? Before I can dwell on it for too long, she screeches at the sky in pure, unadulterated anger. Right, I forgot it was there. I stand up and face Sheen. The plush is gone, but I still have my knife, but do I really need it anymore? I take a few steps towards Sheen, a smirk forming on my face. How does it feel? You like that? You like that you lost? Sheen whirls at me and shoves its face close. Once again, it unhinges its jaw and screams at me. The force of it whips my hair back, but I don't flinch or step away. I just continue smirking. You lost, Maul. You lost. You lost. Maul and I beat you. Lost. I don't lose, human. You may have saved your sister, but you're still here. And I won't let you get away that easily. His scowl morphs into a twisted smile. It laughs. A long, black tongue extends from its mouth, and it licks its lips. I'm hungry, but I want to watch you suffer first. Before I can react, a mass lifts from the hill just beside it. Long, spindly fingers emerge, and Sheen taps one against my stomach with a smile before plunging right through. My body jerks backwards, and my breath rushes out of me. My knife falls from my hands, and my eyes go wide as a jolting pain radiates from my stomach outwards. Sheen laughs faintly in the background as ringing fills my ears. The only thing keeping me standing is Sheen's fingers through my stomach. But then the fingers is gone, and I'm falling to the floor. I gasp for air that doesn't want to come out to me. My hands press desperately against the wound, fingers immediately getting swallowed up in blood. I see Sheen's laughing and watching as life drains out of my body. So this is it then. I thought that I would at least be able to suffer for an eternity in this place. Maybe see that man again. But I guess not. I close my eyes, finally done fighting. I got Maul out of here. What else is there to do? Beyond my closed eyes, there is another flash of light, so bright that I can feel it. I force my eyes open again, only to see another portal. This time, it's just a few feet away from me. It looks exactly like the one Maul went through. Still clenching my stomach, I lift my head and look over at it. Am I seeing things? Then, all of a sudden, I see a silhouette through it. It's distinctly canine with a long snout and two pointy ears. And that's when it jumps through the portal over me. It's large, larger than a wolf or even a Great Dane, and it's long too, with tiny paws, three long, thick tails. Its snout is narrow, and its eyes are sharp. Its fur is cleanly cut, white and glowing. Then, there are red markings all over it, mostly concentrated on its face, but there's also red in its paws, tail, and ears. Wait, it looks like the fox plush. The three-tailed fox lunges at Sheen, grabbing it by its neck. Sheen, for the first time ever, looks scared. Get off me! Sheen lifts a hand drenched in my blood and attempts to grab the three-tailed fox and yanks it away. Sheen's hands is definitely big enough to completely engulf the three-tailed fox, but it fails to even make it budge. The three-tailed fox has an iron grip on Sheen's neck. Sheen screams and withers, but the three-tailed fox just bites down harder and harder until it rips Sheen's head clean off. My mouth drops open, my pain almost forgotten. What is happening? The three-tailed fox shakes Sheen's head like a dog shaking the favorite squeak toy. Then, with one look at me, a wink, it turns its gaze upward and gallops into the sky. Sheen's head lolls, and the three-tailed fox's mouth, sprouting and yelling curses in a language I don't understand. I want to keep watching, but what's left of my stomach lurches, reminding me of what state I'm in. I grimace and look towards the portal. The three-tailed fox came through. It's still there, and it's my only hope of getting out. So, with one hand pressed against the wound, I use the other hand to drag myself over to the portal, where I promptly pass out. When I come to, my eyes are closed, and I feel a faint throbbing pain in my abdomen. There are lots of sounds around me, but none of them are demonic in any way. Weird. I hear beeping and muttering from familiar voices, but they're all very distinct. One sound that's not too distant, though, is the sound of a quiet sob of my side. Mal. I open my eyes, and I'm immediately met with the bright whiteness of a hospital. And right at the edge of the vision is Mal. Her hands over her eyes, and she's crying. Crying over me. I smile faintly, but am suddenly wretched with a cough that like a punch to my stomach. However, my attention is drawn away from it when Mal finally notices that I'm awake. Amelia, you're awake. She wipes her hand around quickly to call to some people somewhere else in the room. She's awake. Call a doctor. My smile only widens at her words, and she turns back to me. Amelia, I'm so sorry for everything. I didn't believe you at these past years. I wanted you gone. I told you I hated you. I said such horrible things, and those were almost the last things I said to you. I thought I was going to die. Then I thought you were going to die, and I was just so scared. Mal continues rambling through heavings and sobs as she frantically tries to apologize to me while stumbling over her words. It's true. She did say all those things to me, and they hurt. But seeing her now, only alive, but grateful towards me, is far more than I could ever wish for. My limbs feel numb, but I manage to lift a hand to rest on Mal's cheek. My sudden touch causes her to stop her ramblings. Her eyes widen and quickly grasp my hand around mine. Yes, do you need anything? Are you pain meds wearing off? I chuckle and shake my head. It's okay, Mal. Everything is okay. Mal smiles shakenly and nods. I don't hate you, Amelia. I love you. My chest feels warm. I don't think Mal has ever said anything like that to me before. I love you too, Mal. Always and forever. The end. Thank you so much for playing. This game was made in a month as a personal challenge to myself. If you enjoyed playing, please leave a comment and rating. Thank you again for playing. So that looks like the end of Bring Her Home, and honestly, I'm kind of lost for words on this one. I honestly thought it was really great. I really liked this game. It was really a moving story. Sure, it definitely got a little bit like, alright, got a little cliche there and there, but overall, with the whole story entirely, I thought it was a pretty good story, and it was just amazing. The illustrations are alright. I thought they were pretty good. At times, they were a little bit hard to figure out what was happening. That is kind of something that was a challenge at times, because it was really hard to differentiate what was happening at that moment with some of the illustrations, but that wasn't too bad, and I honestly really do like the story. It turned out really great. A little longer than I was really expecting, and it's already bright outside. So yeah, there is that. So that was honestly really great, though. I really do enjoy this game, and I'd highly recommend you to try this out yourself. Now, they're not normally horror-based story writing, but this was actually really good. I thought it turned out great with even the horror. Even if you're not good at it, it's still something was pretty admirable, okay? Trust me. So I do like this game, and I'd highly recommend you try this one out yourself, but this looks like the end. My name is 𝒂𝒑𝒐. I have a few things to say to you. Love yourself and others, and I'll see you later.